Hello friends, today I'm going to take you to see the largest and oldest white pine in all of New Brunswick. This pine tree actually rerouted the direction of an entire highway, and I'll share that story with you. I believe this is the trail heading into the tree, and I think it's just in here just a couple minutes. Yeah, it's actually right here. So this tree, it's known locally as the Big Pine, and it's regarded as the oldest and the largest eastern white pine in all of Canada. Sorry for the noise. We are right beside the highway, as you can tell. And there's an interesting story that goes with that. I'll share that in a moment. They estimate this tree at well over 500 years old. The circumference of the trunk is more than 22 feet around, and the height is about 40 meters, so around 128 feet. And this tree actually plays a monumental part in the route that the Trans-Canada Highway takes through this area. I'll just give you a little bit of a backdrop as to why that came to be. So New Brunswick used to be covered in these giant old growth white pines. So a few hundred years ago, when lumbering became the #1 industry in this part of Canada, like everything else, there was no regulations to the lumbering, so they essentially wiped out the entirety of the old growth forest in the province. So this one tree, they did not cut down at that time, basically because if you look at the shape of it, right down near the base of the trunk, it branches off in many different directions. So they did not consider this harvestable lumber because they were looking for large straight trees. They wanted the straight lumber. So this one was deemed undesirable. So here we are a couple hundred years later, and it is one of the last remaining old growth white pines in the province that shows you just how big these trees used to get. So in the early 2000s, they were going to expand the Trans-Canada Highway from 2 lanes to 4 lanes, and the original plans were going to cut right through this ridge where we're standing. So the local community, understanding the historical significance of this pine tree, they lobbied the local government, and the local government lobbied the provincial government, and they were actually able to persuade successfully the rerouting of the Trans-Canada Highway in order to save this one tree. And actually, if you go on to like Google Maps and go into this area, you can see where the highway was coming up straight, then it veers around to the east and then goes back west again. And that's what it's doing. It's circumventing this entire ridge to save this tree. So friends, if you are traveling through New Brunswick and you would like to come and see this tree, it's very easy to get to. I'll show you exactly where it is. So here's the Trans-Canada Highway that they rerouted around the tree, as you can hear. And you just look for that water tower right in the village of Brunswick. Literally right across the highway from that water tower, you'll see the big giant canopy of this tree towering above all of the other trees around it. So look for that water tower. It's I think you're only about 6 kilometers north of the village of Perth Andover. So when you come to Perth Andover, just travel north just a few kilometers, look for that water tower. The trail is on the opposite side of the highway. Well, friends, I hope this little hike into the woods of New Brunswick blessed you, and let me encourage you to get out with your family and explore God's creation. There's so much to discover. Have a wonderful, blessed day, friends. God bless you.